Materos, Dave Mate, circleofdrink.com, back, alive, kicking, drinking that yerba. But let me actually try to stream this on Instagram. I've never done an Instagram live. Let's see if I could do that too. We're going to talk about some Ervas today. Let's see if we can get the Instagram world involved in this one. Bear with me. Get your questions ready. Let's do this. Oh, shit. I got it all screwed up on this. No. No, the Instagram live is. I don't think we're going to do that. Oh, I see. It's the opposite way. Hold on. There we go. Instagram, what's up, guys? Dave Mate. Nice to see you guys on Instagram. This is the first Instagram live ever. We're also on YouTube right now. We're on Facebook. We are all over the place. Dave Mate, salud. What's going on? Damn, Instagram's popping right now. What's going on, guys? First time you're seeing me out here. So, yeah, we're going to talk about different Ervas today. I think this is broadcasting live on YouTube as well. I just can't confirm it right now. Yes, cool. If you guys can see me on Facebook, YouTube, say what's up in the comments so I know this is going okay. But awesome. I think it's going live. Cool. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Dave Mate. Back in 2009, I went to Argentina. What's going on, guys? To learn Spanish, what they call Castellano, the dialect there. And I fell in love with a drink called yerba mate. I had no idea what it was. I was literally invited to sit in a circle my first night in Argentina. There was about 4 students with me. We were at this whole full immersion school where you learn Spanish. You live there. It's like a 3-month program. And the first night I was there, they invited me into this circle and they said, drink this. I said, I don't know what this is. They said, don't worry, just drink it. I started drinking it and I was like, this is interesting. But what impressed me the most, and I'm sorry, some of you guys have heard this story for 10 years, but I have to say it again because there's new viewers here. What impressed me the most was that people invited me into their circle. Total stranger from New York. No one knew who I was. I spoke no Spanish at the time, but they said, come share this drink with me. Let's get to know each other. And I said, wow, I was just so impressed because these things rarely happen anywhere in the United States, let alone New York. No one's going to invite you to sit in a circle and share the same straw with a total stranger. That's unheard of in New York, never happening in New York. But in Argentina, in Brazil, in Paraguay, and Uruguay, that's just the culture. They just say, hey, come, drink, share. So that really impressed me. That's what really got me into this whole thing. The community had nothing to do with the actual mate itself. It was more of the community aspect. And then I kind of went into the mate, learned about the mate. So basically, to make a long story short, I was living in Argentina for about 4.5 years. I learned about the mate. I kind of became like a self-proclaimed expert because at the time, nobody was really talking about mate. Nobody was talking about it online. Nobody was making videos. I think I was the first person ever to make talk about mate on a gourmet level in videos. And what's up, Up? And I just went from there. You know, this is 2009. For about 10 years, I was living in Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, on and off, just learning about mate, going to the farms, going to the forests, living with people in their country estates where they grew mate, just learning everything I could about it. Some of you have been following me for 10 years. You know where I've been. You know what I've done. You know, mate is my life. This stuff is really magical. So we'll go into a little bit of the terms and what mate is, and then later on we'll get into these 3 different Ervas, or we'll talk about that in a second, what Ervas are. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask questions during this whole thing. Salud. Steven, what's up, bro? So basically, mate it's a holly plant. It grows in South America. It's been consumed for thousands of years by the Tupi people and the Guarana tribes. So Nobody discovered mate. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years. It's been cherished and loved and prayed to by these indigenous tribes of South America. So I don't want to go into a huge history lesson, but basically, in the late 15th century, the Spanish came and the Portuguese came, and they basically decimated the culture. They destroyed and colonized the culture of South America. Totally destroyed the culture. Totally destroyed the people. But that's life. That's what happened. That sucks. But the Guarani and the Tupi eventually taught the Spaniards and taught the Portuguese what was going on with the mate, and it was the Jesuit priests that were kind of reforming the locals. They were the ones that commercialized yerba mate. So by the end of the 17th century, mate had escaped its little position in the southern cone of South America and started to expand and expand. And then once it hit Buenos Aires, it became a kind of cash crop. Now we're talking, late 17th century, all the way up until, now, where mate exploded. And, even in the 1800s, mate hit United States. It never became popular. It was kind of shut down by the coffee and tea industry. By that time, even before then, it was in Europe. But even to this day, mate is still relatively unknown. Most of you never heard of mate. You don't know what mate is. You don't know what it is, even though 100 million people drink it every single day in South America. 100 million people drink this every single day in South America. But if you ask people in the United States or Europe what mate is, no one knows. But in my opinion, it's a secret weapon. Like mate, you start drinking mate, it's going to give you what I call creative clarity. It makes you superhuman. It just makes you think better. It makes you smarter. It makes you more empathetic. It makes you more compassionate. It sounds crazy and it sounds like hyperbole, but trust me, start drinking this stuff. Start drinking it for 1 month. And it sounds crazy, but your life will change. Ask anybody in South America who knows about this. They'll be like, yeah, of course. That's obvious. I've been drinking it my whole life since I was a baby. Of course, mate. But when you tell someone, in the Middle East or United States or Europe or Asia about it, they don't believe it. They think it's like witchcraft or something. They think it's crazy. But it's real. You drink this and it changes your life. Like, it really changed my life, honestly. Like, I remember when I first started drinking it in 2009, one of the first things I realized was a superficial thing, but it was practical and relatable. But it was like, I'm a reader. And I couldn't understand what happened. Because I was like, damn, I'm comprehending things better. I'm comprehending this book better. I'm learning better. I'm learning faster. What has changed in my life? What is going on here? And then I was like, wait a minute, I wonder if it's the mate. I started drinking mate during that time. And lo and behold, I started asking people in Argentina and South America, do you notice that mate helps you think? Mate helps you get going? They're like, yeah, obviously. Obvio, they said. So I was like, wow, this is a game changer. Like, I'm actually getting smarter from drinking mate. I'm actually comprehending things from drinking mate. But that was the first level. That's level 1. Level 2, level 3, level 4, infinity, had more to do with the spiritual aspect of mate. Because mate works on a spiritual level. Mate makes you compassionate. Mate makes you want to open up. Mate makes you want to connect people. Mate makes you want to create art. Mate makes you want to go get rich. Mate makes you want to take over the world in a good way, in a peaceful way. That's what this herb does. I don't know how it does it. I don't know what's in it that does it. I don't think it has anything to do with the science, really. I think this is more of a metaphysical thing. This is why the Guarani and the Tupi literally prayed to this plant. They literally built monuments of this plant. And you could see that, and most people don't know this, but if you go to any one of the reductions, one of the mission churches in South America, which many of which are still standing today, you'll notice on these pillars, on these churches, you're going to notice a flower, 4 leaves, and then it has like these other 4 little petals coming between those 4 leaves. That's mate. They put the mate symbol on all of their architecture because they believe that it protected them. They believe that it brought them power. They believe that it protected them from disease. It protected them from the invaders, the colonizers. They believe that it improved their lives. They believe that it brought their communities together. And now we still have this here today. We're still drinking the mate. So I literally just devoted my life to this herb. Like, yeah, it sounds crazy, but back in 2009 when I started getting into it, within 3 to 4 years, I started Circle of Drink. 2012, 2011. Technically, I started a blog back then, 2011, and then for about 2.5, 3 years, all it was a blog, just talking about yerba mate, just talking about it. I had companies in the United States just giving me mate to give away to people, so that's what I was doing for a couple of years. And then one of my friends was like, "Dave, just start the mate company. You know a lot about mate at this point. Start the mate company. Make it a company. Make it official." So now this is October 2013, and I made it official. I called up one of my friends. I was visiting New York at the time, and I called up one of my friends in Argentina. I was like, "Listen, bro, I need your help. We need to start contacting farms, organic farms in Argentina. I need to get like 50 kilos." I just started off with like 50 kilos, and I was like, "We need some gourds. We need some bombishas." And this is 2012, 2013. Boom. And we just started importing it, and then it turned into 100 kilos, and it turned into 500 kilos, and it turned into entire containers on the ocean, entire containers. So we're definitely expanding. We're definitely getting going. But this video is going to be about my relationship with mate. It's going to be about what mate could do for you. It's going to be about why you should drink mate. And then at the end, it's going to be about three different brands I want to talk about. So for those of you that do drink mate, grab your gourd, grab your bombisha, start drinking some mate. Let me fix the lighting. It's a little dark in this room. All right. Man, you guys remember when I used to make those YouTube videos like every single day years ago? That was really a different era. That was fun. Back in the day, I made like 200-300 YouTube videos about mate. Check them out at youtube.com/circle of drink. And you're going to see some crazy videos of the beginning. That was from the beginning. I'm talking like 10 years ago, 9 years ago, 8 years ago. I was going crazy with the videos. I kind of miss doing that. That's why I'm like, you know what, Dave? I got to make a video. I haven't been making too many videos lately. I've just been working so hard. But that's no excuse. I got to remember, connect to the community, connect to the people, keep it going, keep the education going, keep the education going. I can't fall asleep on the education. Just because the business gains some momentum, I can't sleep on education. I got to remind myself of that. So that's the impetus of getting this video going. Let me read some of these comments. Yeah, long time. VLN. Stefan, what's up? Facebook user talking about the Guarani. Yes. And, I'm going to be talking about some things really in this video that just come to mind that has nothing to do with mate, just life. Because this video and this channel is all about life and philosophy too. And that's what mate is about. Mate is not just about mate. Mate is the conductor. Mate is the conductor that facilitates and that fuels conversation about anything. Conversation about what I call building. To build means to add on to things, to build and add on in a positive manner. Especially in this day and age where there's so much negativity out there too. Like what's going on in this world right now. There's a lot of savage stuff going on in the world. Not to say there's not a lot of beauty. There's more beauty, there's more peace, there's more love. But I would be remiss not to talk about the savagery that's going on out there too. There's some savage stuff happening out there these days. I think a lot of it has to do with the economy. A lot of it just people are fed up, but drink the mate, get smarter, find love in your heart. Connect with people, do the right thing. Like, it sounds so corny, but really just try to do the right thing. Like, I don't know. Some people forget about just do the right thing. Treat people well. Like, don't do people dirty. Don't steal. Don't kill. Don't rob. Like, don't be a racist. Like, don't do negative stuff. But for some people, those things are just ingrained in them so deeply that they can't get out of that. They're just like, no, I'm going to go do bad things because I got to survive, or I got to go do bad things because people do bad things to me. But I feel like we got to really get into a meditation right now. Like, we got to meditate. We got to really just find some peace. That's what I love about mate. Mate brings about a sense of peace. Mate brings about a sense of comfort. Mate brings about a sense of community. That's the real power of mate. It's beyond the drink. That's why my tagline is welcome to the circle. Welcome to the circle. Everyone's welcome. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how much money you have or don't have. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what your sex is. It doesn't matter what your orientation is. That's all nonsense. Bullshit, nonsense, made up social constructions to divide us, to keep us apart, to keep us at war with each other. This whole thing about race and all that's nonsense. Race. I'm a spirit. I'm a spirit. What is this nonsense about race? Race? What's race? We're just spirits journeying to Earth right now in this body. I'm playing a game. This game is called Dave Mate. Dave Mate is a game. It's a persona. I made it up. This whole thing is made up. It's like the Matrix. It's all made up. So have fun while you're in this game. Because you're going to have one chance as this body in this game, but you'll be back. Then you're going to have another chance. Then you're going to have another chance. It's infinity. I'm dealing with infinity right now. You think I'm dealing with 80 years? 80 years? 90 years? That's a joke. But you see, I go off on these little tangents because that's what these videos are about. I'm not just going to keep it just mate and this mate and that mate. That's boring for me just to talk about the mate and the health benefits. It's got to be more than that. I already made 200-300 videos about all that. You can watch all that. Now it's about the philosophy. Now it's about life. Now it's about connecting with people. That's the evolution of Circle of Drink. That's the next level of Circle of Drink. It's beyond the mate now. The mate is just the fulcrum. You know, the mate is just the centerpiece now. It's not the whole thing. The next level is the human interaction. The next level is how do we move forward together? How do we heal together? How do we bring about positive conversation together? That's the next evolution of Circle of Drink. Salud. Someone's asking, what do I think about other websites and YouTube channels who write and talk about mate now? I think it's good. I think that it's great that people are writing and talking. You know, there's a lot of people now doing a lot more than I am with education and talking about mate. I'm very happy about that. I think that's great. Spread the love, spread the information. You know, I'm just one person. I love when I see hundreds of mate companies starting up. There's mate companies starting up every single day. There's mate websites, mate blogs. That's amazing. So I say go for it. I say awesome. So now let's get back. Let's come back down to earth for a second. And let's talk about mate. For those of you that don't know, there's what I call three categories of yerba mate. There's mate from Argentina. There's mate from Brazil. There's mate from Paraguay. And then there's two different types of mate from Brazil. So let's talk about all those. The most common mate most people know about is the mate from Argentina. This mate kind of tastes like to overgeneralize, tastes like a strong green tea. It usually has the medium cut leaves, or hojas, they say in Spanish. It has the stems, the white little palos, the stems, and it has a little bit of powder, or polvo, they call it in Spanish. So Argentine mate is a mixture of all three of those things. In my opinion, it's the easiest mate to understand. It's the easiest mate to relate to. If you've never had a mate before, try Argentinian mate. It's just, it's what you call like your standard mate. But it's delicious. It's amazing. Very popular. A lot of people only drink Argentine mate. Then you have Paraguayan mate. And in Paraguay, they drink mate cold, most of the people. So when you drink that mate hot, it's extraordinarily robust. It's explosive. It has like tobacco, cherry, vanilla flavor profiles, what I call crazy flavor profiles. That's why most people in Paraguay drink it cold. When you drink it cold with ice water, ice cubes, lemon, mint, it kind of tames the robustness and it makes it more of a palatable situation. I particularly still like it hot. I drink all mate hot. I don't care where it's from. I drink hot mate. Sometimes I'll drink cold mate, but for me, I like hot mate. Then in Brazil, this is where it gets a little confusing, so pay attention. In Brazil, they grow their own yerba mate called Erva Mate, or chimarrão. I don't pronounce it that well, but Erva Mate or chimarrão. This mate is essentially raw. They pick it, they process it all, and they pack it all within 24 to 48 hours, and it retains this green color. You should actually even store it in the fridge. It's best to store this soda mate in the fridge so it doesn't degrade. So this is raw yerba mate. It's fine powder, super fine powder, and it has some of the palos, as you can see, the little white stems. Oh, you guys can't see. Damn, my bad. It has some of the white stems. This is for the YouTube people. And this is called Erva Mate. Now, on the other side, in Brazil, they grow mate for the Uruguayans, what I call Gaucho Mate. I coined that term, so some people get angry when I use that term. They're like, what do you mean Gaucho Mate? Everyone's a Gaucho there. I call it Gaucho Mate to make the distinction between the local Erva and the mate that's also grown in Brazil but exported to Uruguay. So some brands like that would be like La Selva, Canarias, Sarah, Boldo. These sort of brands are grown in Brazil, but they're not designed for the Brazilian palate. They're designed for the Uruguayan palate. I call those mates Gaucho Mate. So to recap, we have Argentinian mate, what I call classical Argentinian mate. Has a strong green tea, robust flavor, has some nice sweet notes to it. It's easy to understand. It's not too complicated. Then we have Paraguayan mate. It's super, super radical, robust, cherry, tobacco, cherry, vanilla profiles. It's intense in a good way. Then we have the Erva Mate, grown for the local population of southern Brazil. Erva Mate, also known as chimarrão. This is grown for the local population of Brazil, southern Brazil. And then we have Gaucho Mate. Gaucho Mate is mate that's aged. It's kind of like this, but it's not fine powder. It's about 20 times the size in terms of the grain. But it's also powdery too. And this mate is immediately exported to Uruguay for the Uruguayan population. They like their mate aged. They like it brown. But they also don't like it like the Argentinians with the bigger leaves. They like a mixture. It's kind of like a hybrid cut where there's a lot of fine powder in it, but it's also larger grain powder, and there's also some of the palos in there as well. Totally different flavor profile, totally different situation. Let me answer some of these questions. What do I think about Guayaquil? I think their mate is pretty solid. When I first started drinking mate and I was visiting United States, Guayaquil, I think they were sending some mate. I think they sent me some mate at some point in the early years, and I was trying it, and I thought it was clean. I thought it was nice. Guayaquil's loose leaf mate, I think they only have like 2 or 3 loose leaf mates. They didn't really go the route with creating the flavors, like the blends with the loose leaf. But I think that their mate is solid. It lacks some of the flavor profiles that I'm used to. So it's not like an everyday mate for me, but if someone has it at their apartment or their house, I'll gladly consume it. So same thing with Eco Teas. I think they have a solid company, solid mate, clean, organic. They really care about the earth. These two companies I always give credit to because they're the bedrock. They're the ones that really pushed the mate forward way before me in the United States. Like they're the ones, the pioneers that like revitalized what mate could be in the United States of America. Those two companies basically revitalized the yerba mate industry in the United States of America in the late 1990s up until this moment. So yeah, those two companies, Eco Teas, Guayaquil, much respect. They always have my respect. They're the pioneers. They're the ones that revitalized mate. I came decades later, back in 2010, 2012, 2013 is when I started making some noise about yerba mate. But those guys have already been establishing, reestablishing, I should say, because mate was already in the United States way before them. But they're the ones that kind of reestablished it, remarketed it, positioned it differently, got the term. Most people, when they hear the term yerba mate, they think of Guayaquil. That's brilliant because Guayaquil, even though most of their business is the actual can, the ready-to-drink cans, people equate yerba mate to those cans. Which is good. That's better than nothing because that at least starts the conversation of, oh, what is yerba mate? Oh, it's not just the cans. Oh, it's the loose leaf. Oh, it's the community. So much respect. Thank you, Gracia. Thank you. You're saying my mate is the best. I appreciate that. I won't take that away from you. Thank you. Mate Factor too. I can't forget Mate Factor. Wow, actually, they were very generous to me. Mate Factor. I remember like back in 2012, 2011. I remember contacting Mate Factor. I remember shooting them an email, and I was like, "Listen, I'm making videos on YouTube about mate. Can you send me some mate?" They were like, "Yeah," and they sent me like 5 pounds of mate. And then like a couple of months later, I'm like, "Can I get some more mate?" They were like, "Yeah," and they sent me like another 5 pounds of mate. So yeah, Mate Factor, yeah, yeah, they're always in my heart too. Mate Factor, they definitely were generous to me when I got started. I think I made some reviews about them back in the day. I'm not sure if those videos are still up, but I remember making a couple reviews. And that was the first time ever that I tasted that flavor profile of like the Brazilian yerba mate when I was drinking your Mate Factor actually. And it had a very distinct green malty taste, and I never tasted that before until I tasted Mate Factor. This is like 10 years ago, and I was like, damn, there's other flavors out there. There's other types of mate out there. So yeah, actually, I'm glad somebody mentioned Mate Factor. Yeah, cool company. I haven't been in touch with them in a while, but I always respect them too. Really good stuff. You know, that's what I love about these mate companies. They're all just good people. Like, I have nothing bad to say about any of these mate companies. They're all good people. They're doing good things. They're helping people. Guayaquil, Mate Factory, Ecoteas, good people. You know what I mean? Like, I love when I see good companies with good hearts, with people that are doing good things. And it just so happens that the people who are involved in mate are good people. Now, I can't say that for all the mate companies in South America. You know, there's some questionable companies in South America, which I won't name. But at least the ones here in the United States, most of them, they're just good people. And most of them in South America are good people too. So, yeah, mate promotes, it attracts, I should say, it attracts good hearts. That's what I really believe. Like, I've never shared mate with someone and we had like a crazy negative experience. It's always been a good experience. It's always been a beautiful experience. Jamangu, somebody's asking about Jamangu. Jamangu's Erva Mate. It's an Erva Mate, yes, from Brazil. And I like it, but in my opinion, it doesn't have the flavor profile that really keeps me drinking it. I actually have some in my fridge, but Jamangu's okay. I kind of like their Moída Grossa, their medium cut, more than their traditional cut. The traditional cut's a little bit boring, in my opinion, to me. I need mate that speaks to me. I need mate that has something to say. If the mate has nothing to say, then I get a little bored. I'm like, okay, this is just like a general mate that falls into the sea of the other 1,000 brands. The mate needs something to say. It needs to speak. It needs to take a stance. And we'll talk about that when we talk about these three brands, because these three brands all have something to say. So I'm drinking mate the traditional way, out of a gourd and a bombilla, otherwise known as a porongo or quilla, and a bomba. There's a lot of different terms. So basically, this is a cup. This is a calabash cup, a squash plant that they hollow out, they dry it, and then you add the herb in here, and you'll see I have plenty of videos that show you how to make it the traditional way. Then you put the bombisha, and then you add the hot water, and you just drink it all day. Drink it all day long. The moment you wake up, you drink mate, you feel good. Gets you ready. You tackle the day. And you just drink it in the afternoon. You drink it at night even. Puts you to sleep. Mate helps you. Let's talk a little bit about the health benefits about mate. Just a little bit. So scientists don't even fully understand how mate works. They're still figuring out mechanisms within this plant. But mate, through different studies, shows to reduce high bad cholesterol. It actually helps to normalize high blood pressure as well. It actually destroys colon cancer cells. It actually helps with anxiety. It gives you natural, slow-releasing energy without the crashing effects you get from coffee. Coffee, you crash. Most of the time, you crash. Mate, smooth sailing. You drink it all day long. Yes, it has caffeine, the same amount of caffeine as coffee. But what scientists don't understand is, why don't you crash then? Why is it so stable? They don't know. They don't know. It just, that's how it works. Nobody knows yet. If you want to study the foremost scientist of yerba mate, I would recommend you to study Dr. Elvira de Mejia. Dr. Elvira de Mejia. She is the foremost yerba mate scientist, in my opinion, at least in the United States, if not the world. So Google her. You can read all her studies on yerba mate. She's doing fantastic work with yerba mate. And you can learn about all the deep, heavy science about yerba mate. Zane, what's going on? Edson, oi, to the bane. Then I got my boys in Brazil. I got my man Zane. All right, damn, we got a little mate circle going. We got the Instagram live for the first time. Peace. Uh, yeah. So mate health benefits does a lot of things. Anti-cancer. It actually brings about a feeling of euphoria. You know, maybe you feel a little down. Maybe you feel a little depressed. I'm not saying mate is the panacea. I'm not saying throw away your medication by any means. No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is mate seems to help people feel happy. Mate seems to make you feel a little bit more elevated. It makes you feel a little bit more ready. It makes you feel a little bit more engaged with life. So you drink it and you just feel good. For that alone, you should try yerba mate. For that alone, go to the store right now after this video. Go to Whole Foods. Go to Trader Joe's. Go to your local Hispanic bodega. They may have it. Buy a pound of yerba mate, or go to circleadrink.com. Circleadrink.com works too. Go there. Buy some yerba mate. Give yourself 30 days. I know this is like a sales pitch, whatever. But I'm just telling you the truth. I don't care where you buy it from. Buy it from me. That's good. I won't say no. But get it anywhere. Our mate's a little bit, on the higher end pricey side. I won't lie. We actually literally sell the most expensive yerba mate on the planet Earth right now. That's just a fact. But that's a whole nother story because we put in a lot of time and attention and we do things that no other mate company does to give you flavors and give you tastes and give you an experience that no other mate company does. So that reflects our price. But I know that price points can be prohibitive for some people. So that's why I always say, I don't care where you get the mate from. Go anywhere. Go to Trader Joe's. Go to Whole Foods. Go to Walmart.com. Go to Amazon.com. You could buy a pound of mate for $10 today, right now. I'm telling you, you could buy a pound of mate for 10, 15 bucks on Amazon right now. Try any mate you want. And tell me after 30 days that you're not feeling different. I dare you to tell me after 30 days that you're not that you're the same person. You're not going to be the same person after 30 days. I'm telling you, you're not going to be the same person after 30 days. You're going to be eating better. You're going to be feeling better. You're going to be smarter. Literally, you're going to be smarter. You're going to want to be more engaged. You're going to be having better relationships with people. You're going to be more in love with your wife or your husband. You're going to be more in love with your children. It sounds crazy, I know, but just take my word for it. Start drinking your mate, and trust me, it's going to change your life. It's a game changer. Do you know how many people over the past 10 years have contacted me? All sorts of people have contacted me and like, Dave, oh my God, mate, what is this stuff? Like, I'm a better painter. I'm a better artist. I'm a better lawyer. I'm a better doctor. I'm a better nurse. I'm a better mechanic. I'm a better plumber. I'm a better teacher. How? How does this happen, Dave? I'm like, just drink the mate. Trust the mate. Believe in the mate. It's going to give you the power you need. You just have to believe. Most people don't believe. You got to believe. That's the secret in life. That's the secret. You got to believe. This whole thing, this is how it works. If you're doing something, like say you're at a job and you hate the job, that means you don't believe. That means like, oh, I shouldn't be here. I'm just here for money, which is okay. That's understandable. But what I'm saying, imagine you were living a life where you literally woke up every day and you were like, damn, I love what I'm doing. I love this situation. This is happy. Like that's the fuel to manifest anything you want. When you're in that situation where you're like, damn, I like what I'm doing. Like this is good. That's the belief. And when you have that belief, there's no limits. There's no limits when you have the belief. But if you don't believe that something could happen, if you don't believe that the things aren't going to manifest, then they're not going to manifest. They're just not going to happen. That's the laws of the universe. The belief is the key. Now, it doesn't matter when it happens. It may not happen in this lifetime, or it may happen tomorrow, or it may happen right now. But as long as you believe, I swear to you it's going to happen. Anything that you want. Like if you want to fly, eventually you'll fly. If you truly believe that you could fly, you will eventually. Sounds crazy, I know. But the laws of physics will not be limited to you anymore. You'll transcend the laws of physics at one point if you truly believe, and you'll fly. It sounds crazy. That's a crazy example, but imagine thinking about that in terms of money. Imagine thinking about that in terms of relationships. Imagine thinking about that in terms of starting a company or going to school to be a dancer or starting to play an instrument or something as simple as writing in a journal every single day or reading for an hour every single day. You got to believe. You can't just keep on saying, oh, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. 1 year goes by. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. 2 years go by. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. A decade goes by. 20 years goes by. 30 years goes by. And now you're older. And now you're like, damn, 30 years ago, I really wanted to do that. But what the hell happened? So what does that mean? That means the most important time is right now. The most important time? Right now, because time doesn't really exist. But as humans, we got to play this game of time, temporal time. We got to play the game. So every second's clocking, clocking, clocking. Every second, man. We got to take advantage of this life that we're in right now. Let's drink some mate. Salud. Pedro, Luis, Christine, Navarro, how you guys doing? Coffee is the shit, yes. Drink that mate. That's all you need. Damn, it's kind of hot up in here, man. Check it if I'm sweating. This is the summer New York right now. It's getting a little humid this time of year. This time of year, I'm usually in Brazil. This is the first time in the past 3 years that I haven't been in Brazil this time of year. All right, let's finally get down to it. Let's talk about these mates, these ervas. So now we understand. We have all those different types of mates, one of them of which is called erva. This one here, erva. So speaking of erva, let me just throw this out there. Anybody, just for you guys watching these videos, excuse me, if you want to try erva this weekend, I'm giving you a 25% off code. 25% off. Use the code Erva Love. I know you can't see it on Instagram Live, but Erva, E-R-V-A, Love, L-O-V-E. All the ervas, all the stuff like this that's green and powdery like this is 25% off this weekend only for all you guys watching this video right now. Use the code Erva Love if you want to try erva, and I think you're going to want to try it after I speak about these 3 brands right now. So let's get into it. First one, De Valerios. This is a brand that I found in Brazil last year. Some of you may remember I was in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, and I bought a kilo of this in the store, my local store. And immediately I was super impressed. I was like, this is crazy. This erva is like pine needles. It has this kind of piney, sappy flavor profile. So I immediately started studying it. I immediately contacted the owners of the company. I immediately engaged with the owners of the company. We were speaking for months and months and months, and they were educating me about their mate, their erva, really. And I fell in love with it. I fell in love with it because it has a piney, kind of foresty flavor profile that I never, ever detected before. De Valerios. If you want to get a top shelf erva that you probably have never heard of before, I highly recommend De Valerios. You know, like I said, whenever I sell an erva, whenever I bring an erva over to my website, circleofdrink.com, it has to speak to me. If it doesn't speak to me, I don't even bother selling it. It has to speak to me. This erva spoke to me immediately. Really love what they're doing. You know, they take a lot of care when they're harvesting the mate. Some of the mate they harvest like on a certain time where there's a certain level of dew on the leaves. They pick what they call the noble leaves of the mate plant, the highest grade leaves of the mate plant. And they're out in southern Brazil in an area that's close to a town called Ilópolis. It's not exactly in that town, but it's in that region. And it's a really tasty, tasty erva. I highly recommend it. It's at Circle of Drink right now. De Valerios. It comes in 1 kilo. It comes in this fresh package, vacuum sealed. It's super green, super raw, really tasty. I highly recommend it. Oh, damn, I just got a bunch. Well, next time, Christine, next time, remind me to give you a special code. Schneider Gold. I found this brand 2 years ago when I was living in southern Brazil. The last time I was in Brazil, I was living in Sao Paulo, which is more central Brazil. But 2 years ago, I was living in Porto Alegre. Arguably, this is the mate capital of the world, Porto Alegre, the mate capital, the mate city of at least south of Brazil. This is one of the most important cities on the planet as it relates to yerba mate, as it relates to yerba mate and Erva Mate. Very, very important, critical sector for Erva Mate. If you ever want to learn about Erva Mate, you have to go to Porto Alegre. Spend some time there, talk to the people, go to the public market, and they have many, many vendors there. I learned an immense amount of information, immense amount of knowledge I gained from living in Porto Alegre. I was living out there in 2020 during the pandemic, and all I had to do with myself was just study my Erva back then. That's what really, really got me into Erva in 2020 when I was living there, and I got to really experience the locals, and they took me under their wing, and they brought me to their farms. Actually, much respect to the company Cultivada, and much respect to the company Yakui, and much respect to my friend Adao. Those three pillars of information took me to the next level, especially Cultivada Farms. Cultivada really, they clicked. Like, they made me, when they brought me under their wing and brought me to, their estancia, they brought me to their farm, they brought me to their fields, and they really, really took care of me when I was out there, and they really showed me how to properly make the Erva. They showed me the different types, they showed me the different plants, they showed me how these plants grow, when they harvest. So actually, I wish I had some Cultivada on me, because Cultivada, if you never tried Cultivada, go to circleofdrink.com right now, or go to amazon.com, type in the word Cultivada, Cultivada, and try their Erva. Secret weapon. Like, this stuff no one has heard of, but once you try it, it's one of the best Ervas out there. Today we're talking about some other Ervas, and we already spoke about Cultivada, but I had to mention it because Cultivada, that company, those people, that family, has always taken care of me, and they took me to another level of my understanding of Erva Mate. So I have to give them credit for that. So Schneider Gold, this mate is like heavy, heavy, heavy hitting. If you want something robust, if you want something a little smoky, you want something that's going to hit you hard, that 1-2, Schneider. And this is their gold variety, which is a little bit more polished than their regular Movida Grossa. This is their gold variety. And this mate just is a heavy hitter, what I call a heavy hitter. It hits you heavy, hits you hard. You want a mate that just boom, like an espresso punch, Americano punch, a coffee punch. This is the one. This is the one. Schneider Gold. Can't go wrong. How many viewers we got up in here? Wow, 22 viewers on YouTube? That's cool. We got like 10 viewers on Instagram Live. Salud. Damn, Instagram Live's going crazy though. My bad, guys. I haven't even been reading your comments. Never had it. Have you tried ours? No, send me yours. Who are you? Pripagunsat. Yes, I haven't tried yours, but I would love to try yours. Please send me some. It's called, I can't even pronounce it, Pagnunsat. Pagnunsat. I want to try it. Anybody watching right now that has an Erva Mate company or Yerba Mate company, send me. I'll try it. That'll be awesome. Koke, Nasad, what's up, buddy? All right, let's talk about this other one. All right, Cambona IV. This is an interesting Erva, okay? Now, this Erva, and I may have my science wrong, but it's a biclonal Erva, which means that they took a clone of a plant and they took a male and a female of the same clone. So it's a male and a female, same plant. And then they bred those two together, and the progeny of those two made this mate. It's a biclonal Erva Mate. Biclonal. I believe this is the first biclonal Erva Mate ever commercially produced. So why did they do that? Why did they do this science experiment with this Erva? Well, they said they did it to make it a smooth Erva Mate. They made it, they engineered it so it would be super smooth. And that's funny, because the first time I started drinking this Cambona IV, the first thing I noticed, it was like butter smooth. Super smooth. Butter smooth. I didn't even know the whole thing about the biclonal, what they were doing. And then I started researching, and I started reading the back. I started researching the company Badao. Badao, I believe, is associated with this company. I'm not exactly sure whether or not they own this company or they're just associated with this company, because Badao, they're all over this baggage. And then there's another co-op that's also a part of this, and I believe that they're the ones that are actually growing it. So Barao may just be a distributor or the owner. I couldn't quite find that out yet. If you don't know, excuse me, Barao is a huge Erva Mate company in southern Brazil. Huge. I think they're one of the largest Erva Mate companies in southern Brazil. I think their Erva is pretty good. I've only had a couple of them. It's a little bit bland, their Erva, in my opinion. But again, to be fair, I haven't tried all their Erva. But the ones I have tried have always been a little bit bland. I've never really fully related to those mates, those Erva so well from Barao. I'd love to try more. But if Barao owns this company, wow, Barao, kudos to you. You guys really killed it on this one. This one is delicious, super smooth, butter smooth. It's really great for beginners who don't want something bitter because mate is naturally bitter. This is super smooth. I actually like the bitterness of mate. The bitterness is good. It just hits me hard. I love the bitterness, the sweetness. So to recap, these are the 3 Ervas I highly recommend you try. De Valerios. That's on circleofdrink.com. Really delicious. Has these piney notes. It has these kind of sappy, piney flavor profiles. Super complex. Subtle, has some beautiful florals. It's a very nice Erva, distinct flavor profile. You'll never taste any other flavor profile that's found in this one. And we have Schneider Gold. Schneider, super robust, heavy hitting, espresso flavor profiles, coffee, Americano, kind of milky, malty, green malt. Imagine Whoppers, Whopper candies from back in the day. Some of you may remember that malty flavor profile, but imagine that with like a green herbaceousness to it. That's what you have here, Schneider Gold. And last but not least, Cambona IV. Cambona IV, first commercial biclonal Erva Mate. Really nice, super smooth, buttery smooth, delicious, just easy on the palate, easy to understand. But there's also some nice florals in there. There's also some nice malt. There's some complexity, but I wouldn't fully call it a super complex mate, Erva, rather. It's just more of a simple, smooth, butter smooth, milk chocolate flavor profile. Yeah, that's the term. Milk chocolate, butter smooth flavor profile. Super easy on the palate. Cambona IV, produced by Barao. Those are the 3 must try. If you guys want to try them, you're going to save 25%. Just go to circleofdrink.com. Use the code ERVALOVE. ERVALOVE, Erva Love, and you'll save 25% just this weekend. This is just for people watching this video right now. I'm not even going to send it on the newsletter. I'm not sending it to anybody else. Just for you guys watching this right now, this weekend alone, use the code Erva Love, save 25% on all Erva Mate. So as you can see, I'm just filling this up. Every time it's depleted, I just fill it up. And this could last me a couple hours. This might last me 3 hours of just drinking it just like this. Then once it becomes tasteless, I just dump it all out and then do it again. Now, some people may ask, well, what do you do with this dry stuff on top? Do you throw that away? Yes, I throw that away, but don't think I'm really wasting anything because the mate, the water's going under this, and it's just leaving like 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters of dry Erva that's on top. So you're not really wasting anything. It's actually absorbing the nutrients from this stuff, and there's just a little thin cap that gets discarded. So it's delicious. You could just drink it all day long. Daniel, what's up, bro? Nice to see you. Yes, Whoppers, Bisquick, Ovaltine. Yes, that's what the Erva tastes like. Whoppers, Bisquick mix, pancake mix. It tastes like Ovaltine. It tastes like graham crackers. The thing with Erva is that some people don't touch it. They just want to drink the Paraguayan or the Yerba from Argentina. And then you got some people who will never touch the Argentine stuff and never touch the stuff from Paraguay. They only drink this. I drink it all. But, what I like about the Erva is that it's super subtle. Like, there's a lot going on with the Erva, and it's super light on your system. It's not like aged. It's not heavy. It's just light. So you keep on drinking it all day long. And in my opinion, it doesn't give you the super, 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 super energy that you're going to get from, like, Argentine mate that hits you hard and heavy. This hits you slower, but it's more calm and more stable, in my opinion, the raw Erva Mate. I don't know why. Maybe because it has a higher bioavailability because it's raw. I'm not sure. But yeah, guys and gals, I just wanted to come back, let you know that I'm back, let you know I've still been working on everything Erva, working on different brands. Working with a company called Oño Uru in Paraguay. Shout out to them. We got some of their Erva coming, their Yerba rather. Really delicious organic yerba mate is coming from Paraguay. We're about to change the game with Paraguayan yerba mate. I got a container right now in the ocean heading to Circle a Drink over here in New York. Stay tuned for that. That's coming. Different brands we're working with. We got all sorts of Yakui. Yakui is a really good brand, organic Erva Mate and Yerba Mate. We're working with them. Cultivada, working with them. They got some of the best stuff, the best Erva. Uh, and that's what it's going on. We're just building. We're just making a better world, improving ourselves, drinking mate every day. We're going to get the energy. We're going to get the clarity of mind. We're going to get the peace of mind. We're going to connect with people better. We're going to have better art. We're going to have better math. We're going to have better science. We're going to have better engineering. We're going to have better networking. We're going to have better design. Everything gets better when you drink yerba mate. Just believe me. Everything gets better. Everything gets better. Just drink it every day. Don't even think about it. Just drink mate every day. I've been saying it for 12 years now. I know I sound like a madman, but believe me, drink it. Just drink it. Yes, you can still drink your coffee, drink tea, whatever you want to still drink, but just incorporate this into your life. And one day you're just going to be sitting down, relaxing. You're going to be on your couch. You may be at the beach. You may be at work. You may be in your kitchen. And you're going to say, damn, I've been drinking mate for like 2, 3 weeks now, maybe a month or two now, and I just feel different. I don't know exactly what it is. I just feel different. I just feel good. I just feel crispy, 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 crispy clear. That's what mate does. And then you're going to say, let me tell my friend about mate. And then one day you're going to be sitting down with your friend, and you guys are going to be sharing mate. And without even noticing it, you're going to be talking about changing the world. You're going to be talking about elevating. You're going to be talking about writing that book. You're going to be talking about starting that company. You're going to be talking about falling in love. You're going to be talking about having a child. You're going to be talking about creating art. You're going to be talking about getting rich. You're going to be talking about building your own engine, building your own car. You're going to be talking about getting that job finally. This is what mate does. I don't know how it does it, but that's what it does. It just makes you better. Believe me, try it. Yerba mate. Go learn about it. We got tons of videos on YouTube. Circle a Drink on YouTube. Find us on YouTube. Go to circleadrink.com. There's tons of articles. Plenty of articles. Let me walk you through real quick what's going on if you want to read some articles. So I think you can see my screen. You see right here, this is circleadrink.com. And if you just want to learn about mate, you come up here, you click learn. Everything you could ever imagine about learning about mate is right here. You know, terms, glossary, FAQs, everything you want to learn, come to circleadrink.com and you will learn what you need to learn about mate. So, folks, I think it's time for me to go eat some food. This has been a nice little circle. In fact, on the next circle, if people want to jump in, let me know. I'll give you the link. You could jump in. You could be a part of it. We could have a discussion. Whoever's brave enough to come on and talk on the live channel, that'll be awesome. If you guys have any ideas of what to talk about next, because remember, this is not just about mate. This is about life. I want to talk about life. I want to talk about what's going on. I want to talk about business. I want to talk about spirituality. I want to talk about God. I want to talk about science. I want to talk about quantum physics. I want to talk about math. I want to talk about biology. I want to talk about art. I want to talk about photography. I want to talk about anything and everything. I just want to talk. And I want to build. And that's what mate is about. Building, talking, conversation. So thank you all. This is Dave Mate signing out. Use the code ERVALOVE, 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 25% off all the Erva on circleadrink.com. All right, folks, that's it for now. Let me try to end this on live first. I don't even know how to end this on Instagram. Did I end it? Yeah, I think I did. And now, okay. So, awesome, guys. Really nice seeing you again. Many blessings to you. Peace and blessings. And what could I say? Let me end you guys on something. What do I want to say to end this thing? Let's just say, let's improve ourselves. How do we improve ourselves? Let's improve ourselves. Ask yourself a question today. How do I get better? How do I become a better person? That's what I want you to ask yourself after this video. How do I become better? How do I become kinder? How do I become more compassionate? How do I become better at my job? How do I become better at anything that I'm doing? How do I just improve? I want you to come up with a plan, and I want you to enact that plan, carry out that plan, write that plan down. That's the secret. Write it down and do it every day, and also write it down. Keep on writing it down. Keep on writing it down. And I don't know how this works, but that when you the act of writing something down and doing it helps to manifest it. It's scary. I know. It's crazy. But just writing it down and doing it every single day, then write it down, it works. Trust me, it works. It works. It works. Thank you, guys. I appreciate everything. I'll see you soon. Salud. Dave Mate.